So long story short, I got into a master's program at a Hochschule because I wanted more practical work experience in Germany. And in this video, I'm going to talk about my application process, and at the end I'm also going to give you some tips on applying to master's programs in Germany based on what I thought I could have done better. So by the way, how I ended up choosing Germany is another long story, so if you want to know more about that, comment down below, because if you're not interested, I probably won't make a video about it. So during the final year of my undergrad, I started researching and applying for master's programs in Germany, and I used a website that everyone knows called DAAD, D-A-A-D, and right now I'm going to show you exactly how I did that. So when you come on their website, you can see that on the main menu here, there's an option called Information for Foreigners. So when you hover your mouse over it, you can see that drop-down menu will come out, and then under study programs, there's an option called All Study Programs. So click on that. And what you see here is basically a database of all of the study programs that are available in Germany. And as you can see that there are more than 19,000 different study programs. And then over here on the left-hand side, you can see that there's a panel and you can search programs according to the criteria that you want. So let's do an example search. So under degree, you can click master, and then course of study, say I want to study something like art, music, and design, and you can click that. You can see that that filters down your search results to around 740 different programs. And then also you can search according to course language. So let's say I want to study in English and not in German because say my German is not good enough yet and you want to do your program in English. That filters your results down to around 24 results. And then also you can select your location, which for me is important. So I want to study, for example, in a big city, so I'd click Berlin, and here are all the available programs that you can do in Berlin. And say I want to study communication and design, so when I click here, I can see all the details of this program. So here you get an overview of the program. You can see that the language of instruction is in English. It's 4 semesters long, it's an MA, and the focus is communication design, graphic design, UX, blah blah blah, and tuition fees are stated here. And then over here you can see admission, and you can see that the admission semester is in summer and winter, and here are more details regarding the program. And the website, you can click on the website and then it will redirect you to the main website of this program. Play around with their website, it's not that hard to use. Personally for me, I think location is really important because I don't want to study in the middle of nowhere regardless of how great the institution is, so I put location into greater consideration. Also, I prefer to live in a city with an international airport because I know I'll be flying home at least once or twice a year, and if I have to do like 2 interconnecting flights each time I fly, then I'll have to do at least 6 flights a year, which isn't great. So personally, I would not have preferred a place like Cologne because then I'd have to fly like at least 4 times from Cologne to home and back. Probably 6 because it'd be cheaper to do 6. And the long flights just drive me crazy. Obviously, I knew I couldn't be too picky because I knew that not everything I ideally want will work out. And you know, if things don't end up working out for you, just be at peace with knowing that what you wanted wasn't meant to be. So I'm gonna let you know that not all of my applications worked out. One institution rejected me for vague reasons, and another institution required me to submit my bachelor's certificate in May, which would have been physically impossible because I don't get that until November. And of course I was a bit sad at first, but you know, in retrospect, I feel like it wasn't really a big deal to begin with. Here's what I did with my applications. For each application, I first checked whether or not I was even eligible to apply. That means that you have to check whether or not your bachelor's degree is compatible with the master's degree you want to get into. And also some master's programs require you to have a certain number of work experience, and if you don't have that, then you're not even eligible in the first place. Also, some programs require you to have a minimum GPA, so you have to check whether or not you have that. And then I had to hand in some documents like my university transcript and a passport-sized photo, and then also a copy of my passport. And then I had to write a letter of motivation explaining why I wanted to study there. This institution also required a copy of my secondary education test scores, which would be like APs or A-levels or SATs or IBs or whatever you took for your secondary education. And then after I passed my first round, I had an interview over Skype with like 2 people, and then that was it. So this is the part of the video where I give you my tips on applying to master's programs in Germany. Like I said, these tips are according to what I thought I could have done better myself on my own applications. My first tip would be that once you even start to conceive the idea that you want to pursue your master's programs in Germany, you should start doing your research as soon as possible. So let me repeat for emphasis, you should start doing your research on master's programs as soon as possible. This is because some institutions may require you to take some extra tests like the GRE or GMAT, or even some English tests like the TOEFL or IELTS to prove your English knowledge. And these tests all have their own specific test dates. You can't just rock up to the exam and take them any day you want. You have to apply for a date that is available, which means that you have to plan for everything and make sure you have the results before you apply to the institution you want. And once you're doing your research, make a spreadsheet to list down all of the programs you're eligible for and the programs that you're interested in, because this makes things much easier. My second tip is to apply to as many programs as possible, because I made the mistake of only applying to the first program I liked in the beginning, and then I got rejected for that one, and then I started to panic because I didn't apply for anything else. But luckily I did that really early on, and so I still had time to apply for other programs, and that was that. And my last tip is to pay attention to your GPA, that is your grades, because it does affect your application. And some universities have GPA cutoffs, so if you don't reach a certain GPA, you won't be eligible to apply to the program at all. So you can use this website to convert your GPA to the German grade equivalent. I think German universities use a grading scale from 1 to 5. 1 being the best grade possible and 5 being like a fail. So use the website to convert your grade to see what your German grade is. I'm moving to Germany in like 2 weeks, so subscribe if you want to see more Germany related videos and some details about my move. Please leave a like if you enjoyed this video, because that tells me whether or not I should keep making stuff like this. Your feedback is really important and appreciated. If you're interested, you can also check out like a fun video I made about the 8 things I find shocking about Germany as an Asian. So thanks for watching, have a good one, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!